Smell good, look good, baby, taste good. That bitch is back. Hey you guys, it is Mason Elijah and I am back for another video. Before I get into the video, I do want to tell you guys, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this video is basically for the side bitches, okay? I was a side piece once upon a time. Not too long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it. Let me stop. But actually I got really inspired to make this video because I seen a thread on Twitter from a girl and they were talking about the situation with the Lil' Kim, Faith Evans, and Biggie Smalls. And then I watched YouTube videos and interviews and different things like that. And I got really inspired to make the video because everybody thinks that side pieces are just evil and bad. But you have to understand that everybody has a story. Side bitches might not be respected, but you have some genuine people that don't sign up for that. You have some people that go in, think that they're dealing with somebody that's as genuine as them, and the guy or the person, the girl, whatever, they prolong the situation knowing that they have a whole family or lover at home. Although it's still wrong because once you find out that that person has a lover at home, you should walk away, but you guys have to understand that sometimes it's hard. You get what I'm saying? You have some people that genuinely start falling for the person and then they're stuck. I was watching everything and then it started dawning on me and I'm like, bitch, oh shit. I was a motherfucking side bitch. Well, as you guys already know, I happened to be in a situation where I was dealing with a guy, he had a girlfriend, and I ended up going on a date with the girl's father, and that girl just so happened to be the main bitch in this story. For the sake of the video, I'm going to call the guy K, I'm going to name the father Daddy, and I'm going to name the main bitch Mary, and the side bitch moi. This particular situation goes back a year ago. So as you guys already know, I was in a relationship, deeply in love. Things did not work out. We tried to remain friends and we really had a connection with one another. I'm not sure if it was really a sexual connection or if it was more than that, but I know it was definitely more than that on my part. So to skim through everything, I moved out on my own. I was doing really good for myself. I started working at Macy's. I was making so much money, having fun, just having a ball or whatever. And Kay ended up hitting me up and he basically kind of like sold me this sad story and basically said that he needed my help. Being that I was still in touch with him, I was not mad at him. I was still in touch with him, so we would talk from time to time. I understood where he was coming from and I welcomed him to my house with open arms and of course, open legs. But he came over to my house and the reason why he came over to my house was because he needed a place to stay. He was staying with his friends in and out of a hotel, a small hotel. They were doing music together and stuff like that. It wasn't really working out for him because where he was staying was not convenient to where he worked at. So I live in the city and I live near a mall that he was working at, so he came to stay with me. So I'm like, okay, cool, my house is big enough for the both of us. I got mad love for you. And even though you did me wrong in the past, I'm gonna forgive you and I'm gonna help you. And hopefully we can move forward past this or whatever, And like I said, we still stayed in contact. We were still having sex with one another. If you guys are wondering, we just was not in a relationship with one another prior to him moving in. Now, when he moved in with me, it was kind of different. We were doing different things like a couple would do. We were sleeping together, again, still having sex with one another. A lot of things was said on his part that was making me believe that we were together. He was basically telling me, you better not be dealing with anybody else. And I'm telling him, you better not be dealing with nobody else or whatever. It was just like we were getting back to how we always wanted to be. The reason why we could not be like this before was because he didn't have his own spot and I didn't have my own spot. We were both living with our parents and it was so much drama between us and the parents and stuff like that. It just was not working. And as you guys may already know if you've been keeping up with me, he is a down low guy. I was coming home to him and I was cooking for him and I was taking him out and different things like that. I told him that he didn't have to pay rent and anything like that because I had my own money. I was doing my own thing. I knew that he couldn't do for himself, so what do I look like asking him to do for me? So I just was basically letting him stay there for free and from the kindness of my heart. My closet turned into his closet. My bed turned into his bed. My TV turned into his TV. My food turned into his food, and I am real picky about my goddamn food, so that was a problem. Some time goes by, and as I said, we were getting closer and closer and closer, and it felt like we were getting on track. And I was just basically telling him a lot, he was telling me a lot, and we were focused on actually getting back together and being in a relationship, believe it or not. So one day we were talking, and he showed me a picture of this girl, and he asked me what did I think about her. Not thinking anything of it, I'm just like, she's a cute girl, you know, why? What happened? He was like, I'm thinking about ways to make money. You have a camera, different things like that or whatever, you know, I think that I want to get into photography and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, that's dope. Like, you know, I can actually buy you your own camera, whatever you need, I can get it for you. And if you want to do that, you know, I will support your dreams 100%. You know, that's an extra way that you can make money. So he was like, he's thinking about her being his model, but she lives all the way out of town. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, I know a lot of bad bitches that would model for you or whatever to get you out there. I know a lot of photographers that, you know, you can collab with and different things like that, whatever, you know. So I'm just basically helping him, trying to help him be a better person and get out there, you know, different ways to make money. So I want to say as time went by, I stopped seeing him as often as I would. So normally when I come home, he's laying in bed waiting for me to come, you know, home or whatever. You know, he's sitting on my couch watching TV or something like that. So I stopped seeing him or whatever, you know. It's like, it just started, like, I'm telling you, like, like, as time went by, it was like, okay, well, you know, where you at? Then I see him, he just stopped, I don't know, he just stopped being here or whatever, you know. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe, you know, he's getting himself together or whatever, you know, maybe he found a place to stay or whatever, you know. I did not know what was going on, but I know that things got really, you know, from it being so familiar to me, it just really started getting kind of strange. When you're used to something and it stops happening, it's just like, you can tell the difference is what I'm basically trying to say. It was a difference in my home, and I did not know exactly what was going on because, like I said, he was always here. So when I stopped seeing him as much, of course, I questioned it or whatever. And when I questioned it, he told me, you know, I'm busy, you know, I'm with my friends or whatever, you know, we're in the studio, I'm staying late nights and different things like that or whatever. So then I'm checking his social media and I'm not seeing any work. So I'm just like, you're in the studio, but I'm not seeing any work being done. You know, you're not posting no new music, you're not posting anything studio-wise, your friends are, but you're not, so why are you there? So, you know, I'm basically questioning it because I felt like something fishy was going on, you know? So he's making sure that I understand that nothing fishy is going on. He's actually in the studio. He started sending me proof and different things like that or whatever, you know? So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll let it slap. But then it just started getting worse. Months started going by and I wasn't seeing him. First it was like days, then it began to be weeks, then it was like a month, and I'm just like, okay, something is fishy. Well, I went to the social media and I realized that he had deleted everything off his page. So I'm like, okay, new year, new me. You know, so I'm, you know, questioning that too. Never did I think that it would be anybody else. Never did I think that he would be cheating on me. Never did I think that he would be dealing with anybody else. That never came across my mind. So time goes by and I was told to check his Twitter. Now, I go and check his Twitter and I see that he's communicating with this girl. So I go to his favorites or likes at the time or whatever it was, and I see it's that girl after the girl after the girl, nothing but her tweets. And I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? You know, click the bitch page, go to her pictures. I'm like, this is the bitch that he fucking showed me. So, you're fucking with that bitch. Now, you told me that the bitch lived in West Bubblefuck. So, why is this bitch tweeting about you? You get what I'm saying? So, I'm doing my research and stuff like that or whatever, you know. She's tweeting about him. She's basically implying that this is her boyfriend, this is her boo. I'm just like, okay. So I screenshot it and I sent it to him. So he's denying it. He's like, the girl's crazy. That's his favorite line when he gets caught up. To get him out of the hot chair, honey, he would put the blame on the other person and make it seem like the person was out of their goddamn mind, off their rocket. So I'm just like, you know, you played this with me. So I know that it's something that's deeper, and I'm just like, at the end of the day, Kay, you stay with me, so I need to know the truth. You get what I'm saying? We're having sex unprotectedly. This is not fair. You know, you're leading me on. You're telling me that this is where you want to be. You want to be with me. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to grow. You want to get back on track. But everything that you're saying is not adding up. It was good in the beginning, but now it's getting bad. And it's just like all of this feeling is too familiar to me because you did it to me once before. The vibe that he was lying, I felt like he was really honestly telling me the truth. And I really felt like he wasn't trying to hurt me this time around. I feel like I was really vulnerable, and I really felt like, you know, I was at a place in my life where I really wanted him, you know, and I really felt like I needed him. And as time went by, it's just like all of those old feelings that I had for him started coming back when he started staying with me and I was waking up to him, going to sleep with him. It was just like, wow, like I really like him. He assured that it was nothing going on with him and the girl. And like the fool I was, I believed him. So one day I get on Instagram. So like I said, he deleted all his pictures. So he uploads a picture of the girl. And they're in the studio. And, well, actually, no, I'm lying. I did not know that it was the girl. He uploaded a picture of a girl. And she had bushy hair. So, baby, let me tell you one thing about this girl. This bitch got 1,001 different personalities. And she got a new wig for each and every one of them. So, I'm just like, who is this? And before I even knew that about the whole personalities and the wig thing, I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? Who the fuck is that? I'm like, you just sat in my house and you just told me that you wasn't dealing with anybody else. Now you're in the studio with a bitch with curly hair. So I'm like, you know what? Let me not jump to conclusions because maybe this is his friend. Now he's trying to dodge me. So I'm coming home from work. I'm realizing that he's in my house, but he's not home when I get home. I realized that he would come, he would shower, he would change, he would eat. You know, I know how my house is when I leave it. You get what I'm saying? When I came home, it wasn't a mess, but I can tell that somebody was in my shit. So I asked him, like, were you in my house? He's like, yeah, I came over to change, blah, 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 or whatever. And that was his story for each and every time I would catch him in my house when I wasn't home. And I'm just like, you know, I feel like, Kay, you're dodging me. You're trying to dodge me, Kay. And I'm not feeling that. I feel like something is going on and you need to let me know what's going on because I'm too young to be catching something. You get what I'm saying? I'm trusting you. I'm falling for you. My feelings are getting back involved. And I'm just not getting the 100% truth from you. And it's like, I thought that this is what you wanted. So I'm trying to sympathize with him. I did my research, dug things up, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to come to a conclusion and you need to go. I'm not going to continue to get my heart involved with it because I feel like you're going to hurt me. So you need to go. I feel like you have a girlfriend now. I'm watching her tweets. I see that she's posting about you. She's posting pictures with you, of you and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, it's time for you to go because what you're telling me is not reflecting what I'm seeing. And you're basically telling me what I'm seeing is a lie. And you're trying to make it seem like you're trying to just drive me insane. You know, he's trying to drive me to a goddamn crazy house. You know, like, how can you tell me what I'm seeing is not you or it's not real? You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? Before I drive my damn self to a goddamn crazy house and kill your ass on the goddamn way, you know, it's time for you to go. So I told him, come get his shit. I packed all his stuff for him neatly, nicely. I could have ripped it, burnt it, like all them crazy exes and stuff like that or whatever. No, I didn't do that because I knew that he was already down. He can barely do for himself. So why would I rip his clothes up knowing that he doesn't have much and he's not going to be able to get any in a while? You get what I'm saying? And the majority of his clothes I bought for him or whatever. You know, he's so used to wearing the same thing over and over and over. It's just like, I don't know, it just, I bought him some stuff, but I let him have all of that. I didn't even want none of it back, honey. I packed that up, folded up, washed it, dried it, ironed it, packed it up, boom, here's your stuff, it's gonna be at the door for you, I need my key back, let him know everything. He didn't respond to me. So, time still is going by, and he's still coming in and out of my house, or whatever, you know, washing up, changing, going through the little packed up bag or whatever, changing his stuff, putting his dirty clothes in like he thought that I was goddamn playing. So I'm like, oh, bitch, you done lost your mind. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get his ass. So I started thinking to myself, like I started driving myself. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I started driving myself crazy. I started thinking that this motherfucker was having this bitch up in my house or he was having somebody in my house when I wasn't home. He came or whatever to my house or whatever. And I'm just like, you know, Kay, you need to get your stuff. Or whatever. The first thing I said, he's like, Mason, calm down, calm down. He came, tried to give me a hug. I let him hug me and different things like that. Or I'm like, yo, you need to get your stuff. This is crazy. This is too much for me. I'm not dealing with it. I start crying. I start getting emotional. Then he start crying and he start getting emotional. And I'm just looking at him like, bitch, fuck is you crying for, motherfucker? I'm the one that's hurt. You know, he knew how to play those damn mind games and make a motherfucker feel bad for him. So he started reeling me in, reeling me in, reeling me in, feeding me lies, feeding me lies. And my dumb ass just believing it. So, you know, a fool, gave him another chance, but not so much really a chance. This was the icing on the cake for me. So my best friend was coming down from New York and she got to the airport at a certain time. Now, a week before she was coming down, I let Kay know that my best friend is coming. I need you and your best friend to go and pick her up from the airport and drop her off at my house. Everything was a go or whatever. And he was going to do that favor for me. So I'm like, okay, cool. I let my best friend know. She was cool with it and everything like that. So the time comes. She gets to the airport and she's waiting. Texting him, calling him, he not answering the phone. So I gave my best friend his number. I'm like, yo, text him and call him or whatever. She do the same thing. He not answering the phone. So I go to his social media and I don't see anything. Then I go to her, the girl that he showed me, the bitch that keeps coming up, Miss Wiggy, Miss Little Wiggy Piggy. I go to her fucking page and I see this motherfucker in DC or New York, wherever they was, up north, and they together. So I'm like, what? Oh, hell no. So I'm heated at this point. So I'm texting and I'm calling him and I'm blowing him up or whatever. This motherfucker gonna respond to me and tell me, Mason, me and you are not in a relationship. You should not be focused on what I'm doing. Worry about you. So I'm like, oh wow. So at this point, I'm holding my head. I'm pissed. So I take an Uber to go pick my best friend up. I'm crying, I'm upset or whatever. She's holding me down. She's giving me advice and different things like that. I asked my best friend, I said, you know what? Do you think that I should speak to this girl? You get what I'm saying? Because I personally feel like he's playing with the both of us. You know, he's lying to me. At this point, I feel used. I feel abused. I feel like, you know, he used me to stay with me, get back and forth to work. He used me for money, food, clothes, love, and just everything. Like, he just abused it. You get what I'm saying? I was so hurt. I was just so torn. And it was like my best friend was coming down here, and this week was supposed to be so good for us because this was her first time coming to Atlanta. So I'm just like, you know, now my mood is just tarnished. I need to reach out to this girl to have a conversation with her because he's telling me one thing and his actions are telling me that he's here with me or whatever, but he's there with her, and it was just so confusing. It was just a mind fuck, and it was just so much that was going on. And when he responded that to me, it was just like I really didn't even want to hurt him. You get what I'm saying? It was like I sadly understood him. You get what I'm saying? It was just like he was really struggling with his sexuality, and this has been a long time that he was going through this. But baby boo, if you got a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever you got going on, you need to minus me from the equation because I didn't sign up to be a side bitch. You know what? I spoke to so many of my friends about it. I spoke to my mother about it. Everybody was just like, you're gonna do what you're gonna do or whatever. There's no telling Mason no. There's no giving Mason no advice. Mason is gonna do what Mason wants to do. But if you write that girl, write her and be respectful. I was trying to help her out. I was trying to let her know this is what's going on behind your back. And if he's having sex with me, and you, just imagine who else he's having sex with. If he's lying to me about you, and he's not even letting you know about me, just imagine who else he's having sex with. You get what I'm saying? So I was in a place where I wanted to hurt him, but I wanted to help her. I wrote her, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I wrote her or whatever, and I wrote her, and what I wrote her was very respectful. I introduced myself. I said, you know what? I'm Kay's ex-boyfriend. I made sure that I said ex. And I let her know everything that was going on in the situation. And I thought that she was going to understand. Unfortunately, she did not. And she responded. And she said, bitch, I don't give a fuck who you are. She was like, you're a miserable piece of shit. You're trying to ruin my relationship. Nobody's gonna come in between me and Kay. You know, I love him and he loves me. She began to send me all of these different pictures of them together, them hugging, them kissing in the bathroom. Outrageous pictures of them being together, trying to prove that they're in a relationship with one another. And then not only did she do that, this bitch began to threaten me. This bitch said, I fight faggots like you. She told me to send my motherfucking address. When that bitch said that, I'm like, bitch, I will fuck you up. I will drag you, bitch. I will fucking, like, in the middle of motherfucking second, bitch, I will whip that ass. I was so shocked that she responded in that tone, and I was so nice and respectful to her. You get what I'm saying? So then I started thinking maybe it was him on her page. But I'm like, you know what? But sidebar, I just want to let you guys know. If any bitch has the audacity to argue with a gay man over her man, baby, you are stupid. You are stupid, and you need to lay down and reevaluate your whole motherfucking life. Because if you feel like you're in competition with a gay man over your man, baby, that's not your man. That's our man. Okay, still, I responded with kindness. Because in my heart, I knew that she didn't fight a faggot like me. She couldn't have fought a faggot like me because, baby, a faggot like me will whip your ass. as the situation went on, it got worse. You know, she began to write me on a daily basis. She began to subtweet me. She felt like she knew me, and she felt like she knew my situations and things that I had going on in my life. Or whatever. She started tweeting about my mother. She started tweeting about how nobody loves me and the things that I went through with my family and my father, you know, and just different things, and my mother putting me out and me being homeless. It's a lot of stuff or whatever that was really of the past, but she felt like that was relevant, and she felt like that's what I was going through now. And the only way she could have got the information was from Kay. Seeing all of those tweets about me and just seeing the hateful things that she was saying to me and about me, I felt like I really wanted to sympathize with her because I felt like I understood her. You moved down here to be in a relationship with somebody to find out that he's gay on the low. Not only is he dealing with somebody else, he's dealing with a guy behind your back, and it's like, it's kind of like a slap in the face because you moved here to be in a relationship with him. So it's like, I really wanted to sympathize with her, understand, you know, her, and I really wanted her to really understand me. For a very long time, I felt bad, and for a very long time, this situation continued to go on and on and on and on. I was scared to talk to people about it. I was scared to let people know that this is what she said to me. I was scared to let people know that this is what I was going through. I was scared to let people know that I was in a situation because side bitches have this stigma where they're wrong. They're wrong, and they're the hoes, and they're the home wreckers, and they just need to just leave. And how? But how? Nobody understands that some people get into situations not knowing that this is what it is. Some people are genuine. My beef wasn't even with her. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that she understands that. My beef was never with her. My beef was with Kay. And I guess she called herself being a ride or die or whatever, and she just continued to ask for my address. She was like, send your address, send your addy. I was like, time went by, she still, and I'm like, girl, the girl just kept trying to make it seem like I was crazy and I was not really in a relationship with him, and I never knew him and I never met him. So I responded to her one day on Twitter because she just kept doing different things to get my attention. She kept coming to my page and she'll follow me, then unfollow me, like my like stuff, then unlike it. It was like we were just petty, just going back and forth. And I didn't want to expose him because, like I said, that's not of my character. I don't like to expose people. But when you are dragging my name through the dirt and trying to make it seem like something that is not, of course, I'm gonna protect myself by any means necessary. I'm gonna protect my brand. I'm gonna protect my name. She said something about me not knowing him and never meeting him, only having a relationship with him through social media. So baby, guess what I did? I posted a picture with his ass or whatever. I'm like, first of all, baby, this is your man. I changed my locks and I gave all of Kay's stuff to the homeless. You know, me and my friends, we had a field day with that, giving his stuff away to the homeless, baby. I ain't gonna rip it. I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm gonna give it to the people that need it. I forgot how we got into it again on Twitter, but we got into it and this bitch said, pull up. Pull up. The bitch said, pull up. So guess what the fuck I did? I pulled the fuck up. And I'm just like, bitch, what's up? Pulled up at a job. Pulled up at the bitch job, and I'm just like, bitch, what's good? What the fuck is good? I'm like, at this point, you being real crazy. I'm in front of her manager and everything. I'm like, at this point, bitch, you're being real fucking crazy, and you're being real reckless. So, bitch, what's up? And she didn't know how to, this bitch was shook. This bitch was in total shock. It was like she seen a fucking ghost. That bitch ran to the back so quick. I was like, bitch, that's what you better fucking do. Don't play with me. The bitch ran to the back so quick like she seen a motherfucking ghost. The bitch was full like Forrest Gump, out. Bitch, that bitch was out. She didn't want no problem. She didn't want no motherfucking problem. Then I go home, I get on Twitter, the bitch still talk. The bitch talking about I'm lying, because I told her, I'm like, bitch, I pulled up on that bitch, blah, you know. She like, oh, he lying. She responding to people that saying different things on Twitter. She all on my page responding to my followers, letting them know that I never really pulled up on her. So that's what I did. Pulled up again. Pulled up again and made a video. Just like Cardi B said, baby, pulled up on that bitch twice. Hey, pulled up on that bitch 3 times. Pulled up on that bitch 4 times. Bitch, I was in a motherfucking, I was not playing. I was just like, bitch, you is really trying it at this point. And baby, you don't know me. So you know what, after sitting and dwelling and just thinking about everything or whatever, I get on Facebook one day. I get on Facebook and I see a goddamn request from somebody that got the same last name as her. So I'm looking and I'm like, who is this? It's an older guy, real cute older guy. So I go to his page, I go to his pictures and stuff like that or whatever, and I see that he has pictures of her up. So I'm like, who the fuck is that? So I accept him. So, you know, me and the guy, we start talking, find out it's her goddamn father. The father's in the blind to everything. So the father, we communicated back and forth or whatever, you know, and he's telling me all of their personal business. He doesn't even know that I am the person that's been going back and forth. He doesn't know anything about this. He doesn't even know that his daughter moved down here and has issues over her boyfriend. He doesn't know anything. So he's telling me about their personal problems and him trying to get her a car and different things like that or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so I'm prolonging the situation. I'm keeping it cute, honey. So I sat back with my friends. I said, you know what? I'm about to join the family.